In the ancient land of Komba, a woman lived alone in a dreaded cave. No one knew where she came from. No one knew how old she was. No one even knew her name. She walked through the village at odd hours, her presence sending shivers down the spines of grown men. Her eyes, sunken and dark, held a hollow emptiness that made even the bravest hunters avoid her path. When she passed, people scattered, clutching charms and whispering prayers to the gods. Mothers gripped their children's hands tightly, whispering, "If you go near her, she will steal your soul." She walked alone, her shadow long and silent. She never spoke, never smiled, and she did not eat the food of men. She crouched near termite mounds, plucking ants with her fingers, swallowing them one by one. She snatched crickets from the air, chewing them slowly. The villagers whispered that she drank the blood of the night and spoke to spirits in her sleep. One night, when the moon sat heavy in the sky, a sound cut through the silence. A single owl, white as death, perched on the mouth of the cave and began to cry. "Ko! Ko!" The sound was long and mournful, carrying through the village like the wail of a grieving spirit. Every ear heard it, every heart clenched with unease. "The owl cries for the dead," an elder whispered. "But who?" The villagers waited. The cry did not stop. The owl sat unmoving, its large yellow eyes fixed on the mouth of the cave as if watching something unseen. Then the truth dawned on them. The witch of Komba was dead. Fear spread through the village like wildfire. No one dared go near the cave. No one wished to see her lifeless body to confirm what the owl already knew. But they could feel it. A presence that had loomed over them for decades was gone. Some rejoiced. "The witch is finally gone," they cried. They sealed the cave with heavy stones, trapping her inside forever. The owl remained for 3 days, crying at the cave's entrance, its sorrow piercing the night. Then, on the 4th day, it spread its wings and flew into the darkness. What the people of Komba would never know, what no one would ever discover, was the truth. That long ago, a mother had stood at the entrance of that cave, a starving child in her arms. She had whispered apologies through her tears before she turned and fled, leaving the child behind. Yes, Kuseme, who later became known as the Witch of Komba, was born in a season of famine when the land was cursed with dust and the rivers turned to dry beds of cracked earth. Her mother, Nkise, had tried to save her. She had begged, stolen, and even knelt before the chief's wives for a scrap of food. But hunger is a cruel beast, and it had turned Kuseme's small body into a frail, trembling thing. Her cries had grown weaker with each passing night. Nkes could not bear it anymore. She held her child close, her heart pounding with fear and guilt. If she watched Kuseme die in her arms, it would shatter her soul. So, she took her child to the darkest cave at the edge of the village. She kissed Kuseme's forehead one last time and whispered, "Forgive me, my child." Then she ran and never looked back. Kuseme did not die. That child had survived, eating the ants that scurried beneath her, drinking the water that dripped from the cave's walls. That child had grown, had lived, had become the woman they feared. The Witch of Komba was not a witch. She had never cursed them, never harmed them. She had only lived as she knew how, abandoned by her people, left to be raised by darkness and silence. And now she was gone, buried in a tomb of stone, feared until the end, misunderstood forever.